This is the living situation currently on the couch side. I want to throw up a new shelf, maybe a throw blanket storage situation, reconfigure the existing shelf and picture frames, throw in a couple more plants, maybe make it holiday festive. Halloween is over. This is the dining room and office situation. It needs help. It's like on life support right now. Riley has a very important job, Mr. Tape Monster. This is the current state of the living room. Stitch is displaced. We have upgraded to 2 shelves. And everything else is still pretty messy. So this is the big reveal for the living room wall. Kinda. Got a nice little gallery wall going on. If you give me a second, I will show you where the plants are going. We got our breakfast smoothie, we got the dog's food, and we got the oven preheating for some sourdough. I had therapy this morning and I just had my QME appointment, and it was so complicated. They had none of the paperwork I sent over. They didn't have my medical information from my adjuster, but he has cleared me to go back to work. I just have to do an examination that I can schedule in the next 2 weeks, and then hopefully my adjuster, that girl, that wonderful, fabulous girl, will have my paperwork for me and I can be sent on my way. I'm feeling a lot of mixed emotions. I'm feeling relieved. I'm feeling nervous. I'm glad that we're finally getting to the end of this, but I'm also nervous to go back to work because it's been so long and the staff is like all new. So I baked 4 loaves of sourdough bread this morning, and now we're getting lunch, and hopefully I will get to hang out with my friends today and blow off some steam. Welcome back to my non-aesthetically pleasing kitchen. I had an appointment this morning to follow up on some blood work. It was for a second opinion on some of the symptoms I've been feeling in the last year, and I think it went relatively good. They found a couple of things. I have to go in for more blood work, and I'm feeling a little relieved. I'm really hoping it's what they think it is, because I'm tired of going back and forth to the doctors. The dogs are at their grandparents' house, so I am home alone in the kitchen cooking fried chicken. Not cooking fried chicken. Definitely not. I don't like fried chicken. I'm cooking vegetables. I'm trying to do some meal prep before these go bad. I don't really want to have it all get spoiled. So I'm cooking the vegetables now, and then I'm gonna cook up some ground turkey and fish. I'm gonna bake those up. I already have in the freezer some chicken thighs that are pre-portioned, pre-cooked. So yeah, my theory is with all of this produce, all of the produce, if we don't eat through it within the next 4 to 5 days, I'm gonna freeze it flat on a sheet pan, and once it's frozen hard, I'll vacuum seal it into individual portions. So in anticipation of going back to work, it'll be something easy to just grab and throw in my lunchbox. Or if I just need a lunch in general. I don't know if you want to watch this or not. I might put it in, I might not. Let's go make roasted veggies. Okay, so I have all of my vegetables ready to get seasoned. I'm just spraying some olive oil on them. Everything is just gonna get, the asparagus for sure is just gonna get salt and pepper. Something's gonna get turmeric and something's gonna get garlic. So in we go with a little bit of salt. Literally just a little, as I grab giant pinchfuls. A little bit of pepper. I underestimated how much this would make. Since I'm trying to get a nice like roasty look onto it, I'm not crowding my pans. I forgot to mention that I separated the broccoli from the carrots and the carrots from everything else because usually they cook at different times. Like a carrot is more dense than a piece of squash. Squash and asparagus are pretty much the same density. Like squash is mostly water. Asparagus is really fibrous. So they should be done around the same time. If not, asparagus is really easy to take off of the sheet pan versus separating carrots out from all the other bits and bobs. New kitchen gadget alert. This thing. It's nice and compact, fits easily, stores easily, but it opens up super quickly and it looks like that. What is it, you ask? It's a cooling rack. So instead of taking up 40 different spots on your countertop, just throw it there and boom, I'm in love.
It is 6:45 and I have done way too much today. I just finished up a workout. I'm very tired. I think I'm gonna try doing my workouts first thing in the morning from now on, so I have more energy to get them done. I think I might have done a little too much today, but it's not a surprise, I guess. I need to have dinner and then finish up that sourdough. It's a lengthy process, that boy. Anyways, maybe I'll take you along tomorrow. Maybe I won't. It's just supposed to be a rainy day, so it's going to be inside stuff. Arts and crafts, maybe. I noticed that my days aren't very balanced, so I'm gonna try doing that tomorrow. What I mean by balanced is things that are priorities versus things that are leisure and fun, along with self-care stuff. So here's to more balance. But 2 workouts out of 3 for the week. I'd love to get a run in tomorrow, but like I said, it's gonna be raining. Also, Stitch doesn't have his retractable leash, so that's going to be really hard to take him out on a run. Yeah, we'll see where the day takes us tomorrow. And signing off for the evening. Alright, I think I have everything situated. It took me like 5 attempts to get the microphone situation figured out. I have a nice island now. We got rid of our little table and we upgraded. I have some crafts in front of me. Currently, I have jalapeno cheddar in the oven. Today, it's supposed to be gloomy. I gotta run to the store. There's some other things I need to take care of. Like we have some kitchen projects. We gotta cook some meat, freeze some meat. What else? I gotta get the pie crust started for a tart I'm doing for Friendsgiving tomorrow. And I have to run to Costco and pick up some prescriptions. And then I gotta drop off some bread to a friend. And then when I get back, we'll dive into some arts and crafts. I have to stop by Dollar Tree and Walmart possibly, but I'll show you one of the ideas I have. All of these are from YouTube, the ideas. They're not original ideas at all. I got a tray, a really ugly one, but the back is black. So you take these. These were originally gold. I couldn't find them in black, so I got them in gold, but I spray painted them the other day. So I'm gonna hot glue those down, and then I'm gonna take the Christmas tree. We're not gonna use this part. I'm gonna fluff this up, and then we're gonna, good Lord, this is taking forever. I'll do that off camera. I'm gonna make this nice and fluffy, and then we're gonna secure it here. I don't know if I'm gonna get 2 more trees, just so it looks nicer. I don't know. I've never done this project. So once it's glued down, these will be like this, and it'll be nice and puffy. And then I'll put these picks. I have pine cones somewhere, but I have to dig for them. But definitely going to do like the red berries intertwined. And then it's going to live right here on the table. I guess I'll just show you the other ideas I have, since there's just one more. The other one is like this upside down Christmas tree. So like when this is all puffed out, it looks like a like a teardrop almost. And then I'm gonna take the ribbon and make a little bow to hang it. I'm gonna hot glue that, and then I'm gonna hot glue this bow to it, and then it's gonna go on my front door. Yeah, that's the plan, man. So the 2 crafts are done. The door one is mediocre. I don't know if I like it or not. But the centerpiece, I'll just drop an image of it below or above. The centerpiece, I think it turned out nice. I was gonna do these little gold things or silver things, but I thought I didn't like the way it looked. So yeah, there's glitter everywhere, and now I gotta go drop off some bread to some people. You know what I love? I love when you're trying to park and some batshit crazy driver swings around and tries to go past you. Like, bitch, I signaled. You saw that I was still moving and you're getting all pissed at me because I'm trying to park my car. Like, patience, no? And it sucks because, like, we're only getting into the holidays and it's only gonna get more savage out here. So, I don't know. How do you deal with that shit? Like, impatient people. I wish I could say I dealt with them by punching them in their faces, but I don't. I just get mad and angry. So, alright, gotta go run errands. So I came back from running half of my errands. I got very frustrated at all the people out and about. I feel like people are already like gearing up for holiday mode because there are a ton of people out and about, and I find myself getting very frustrated at them. So just like, I just had a doctor's appointment, a video visit, and I was talking about my anger issues, and I probably should think of a game plan on how to deal with the crowds. I would like to say I'm just gonna order everything out on Instacart, or like just go order a pickup at like Ralph's or Vaughn's or Walmart, because as much as I love going grocery shopping, I don't like crowds or other people. They make me very frustrated and I get really angry. And then if Nicole is with me or somebody else is with me, I tend to be a little asshole to them, and I don't want to be that person. So it kind of sucks. Maybe it's something I'll talk to my therapist about. I'm curious if anybody else gets like this. Like, I love the holidays and everything, but I hate people. Like, people get on my fucking nerves. Like, out in public, people are very rude and inconsiderate. But it could just be my resting bitch face. Let's make a pie! Start with a pie pan, and then you just magically appear some pie crust. And then you magically press that pie crust into that pie pan and bake it off for some time until you think it's done and ready. And that's how you make pie crust. I failed to tell you that pie crust is for a s'mores tart. And now we're going to make the whipped ganache. Chocolate, cream, mix it up, add your butter. Whip up your whipped cream. Whip, 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 whip. Then, let me guess, you whip up your ganache. Whip, 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 whip. And then you fold it all together and pour it into your pie pan. This is called a sacrifice. You add a little bit to the chocolate and then mix it up. And then you add the remaining and then you fold it all together.
just fold it in. The smell of ganache reminds me of pastry school. It's so nostalgic. You don't want to over mix it. You just want to mix it enough. Scrape down your spatula. Mix it one more time very gently. And then we're going to add it to the pie crust. Sure, did it all? You guys. Thought I had a smaller one, but this is pretty much it. Gently ease it all the way into the corners. And then around the edges. I don't think you have to get it perfect because you're going to be putting the marshmallow on top. And this is just going to set at room temperature. Until it is nice and good. I don't know. It's a marshmallow. Marshmallow, meat chocolate ganache. And later on, we'll torch it.
Okay, yeah. Quit moaning.
You know what would be good? A drizzle of caramel.
Can I put my finger in the middle?
Hey,
as long as it's just the
relax.
This was Friendsgiving 1 of 2, and the s'mores tart. It was very ugly but super delicious. 10 out of 10 would recommend. And go hug your friends. Tell me you love them. After Friendsgiving, the next day I went to a local cannabis lounge. This is the speakeasy portion where there's a lot of art installations. It is pretty freaking cool. I wish I had brought somebody with me to experience this also, but I had to put my big girl pants on and do this by myself. 10 out of 10, I would go again. I did a sound bath for the first time, and it was definitely an experience. Right after the sound bath, I went outside and I took myself on a nice 30-minute jog around the neighborhood. It was an easy run, and yeah, I'm proud of myself that I went out and did it. I'm disappointed that I was sweating after, and I didn't realize I had all that sweat on me, and I went back to the cannabis lounge to have brunch. I got an acai bowl. It was delicious, but your girl was sweating. This whole place was a vibe. Like, look at this little cocoon they sat me in. What is this bathroom? Starting off the day with a quick little workout, and then we're gonna jump into the kitchen. Good morning. It is time to feed everything. You have to feed the starter, have to feed the dogs, have to feed the worms. I worm compost, so they've been having a little trouble, so I gotta remedy their problem. Well, I guess I could show you that. I don't think I've ever showed you my worms. All of Stitch's and Riley's little sisters and brothers. I'm making dog food right now. Well, I'm not making dog food. I'm just setting them up for their meals for the day. We prep their breakfast and their dinner at the same time.
Just streamlines everything, makes it easier. I made a lot of sourdough. I think I nailed down the ratios of the add-ins and everything. I'm still fiddling with how much starter to add in, because it's not getting the rise that I want. I was also messing around with the mixing method I was doing. So yeah, it's getting there. It is pretty impressive. I'm excited to have a hobby that's going to make some money and pay for itself. This Wednesday, I have my Friendsgiving with my little group of girls and their significant others. So that'll be fun. And then on Thursday, is it on Thursday? I don't remember what day, but I think on Wednesday, yeah, on Thursday we go and we check in and have our little staycation. And then on Friday is Nicole's birthday, so I gotta make her cake. She wants her favorite Frenchy cheesecake, so I'll probably take you guys along for that. All right, I have 2 desserts to make in the next 3 days. Yeah, a cranberry tart and a Frenchy cheesecake. The cranberry pie is for Friendsgiving, and the Frenchy cheesecake is for my wife's birthday. I have made these before. It's not that hard. I don't know. In my personal opinion, it's not that hard, but I've made them a lot. So, it's the same pie crust that I did the last 2 times I baked a pie. So, I'm gonna do that. Cake base and our pie base. They're gonna go in the oven for about 13 minutes until they're nice and golden, and then we will make the compote. Maybe. Or maybe we'll make the cheesecake. Or maybe we'll make neither and do it all tomorrow. I start off by taking a little bit of heavy cream and gelatin in a saucepan, and the heat is off, and I just let it bloom. I let it sit there for like 10 minutes to get rehydrated. Then I pivot over the cream cheese in the stand mixer, and I whip that shit really good till there are no more lumps, scraping down the bowl and the paddle every now and then. After that, it's the same process. Add the mascarpone, scrape the bowl. Add the ricotta, scrape the bowl. And then once those 3 are added, you slowly add in the sugar, and what do? You scrape the damn bowl. And the attachment piece, that's really important to note. Now we go back to the gelatin and the cream mixture when we go ahead and start melting that down. You don't want this to come to a boil or a simmer, you just want to dissolve it. After it's dissolved, you're going to take a fine mesh strainer and strain it, because you never know if there are any bits of gelatin left behind. With the mixer on, I'm going to pour the gelatin into the cheese mixture and scrape the bowl and the attachment. While that's happening, Nicole is whipping whipped cream that I'm going to fold in to the mixer by hand. Don't do this with the whip attachment. Do it by hand. Be gentle with her. She's sensitive. I have an offset spatula that I'm going to make sure that I get into all of the cracks and the corners first. And then I'm going to level and even it out. And then I'm going to tap it down a couple of times to make sure that all of the air bubbles are distributed. Then we're going to head over to the freezer and let this freeze overnight. In a few days, we'll revisit this, we'll cut it, and then when it's time to serve it, we'll brulee it. I'm really sorry, I don't know what happened to some of the videos on these clips, but here we jump right into making the cranberry compote for the cranberry tart. It's just some sugar, some cranberries, some orange zest. Bring it to a boil and strain it all out. Once the mixture cools to room temperature, then we're gonna throw it in the fridge. And then we've got Mr. Cuddlebug here. I can't delete him. He was so cuddly. It's 8:30 in the morning. Time for more kitchen projects. Gotta cook up this ground beef. Gotta portion out some dog food. What else? We need to prep the meatloaf for tomorrow. And then I'm going on a field trip. So I portioned the turkey, and once it cools, I'm going to lid it and throw it in the freezer. Once the pucks of meat are nicely frozen, I'm gonna wrap them in plastic wrap, and we will have that as prep turkey meat, I guess. All right, so for this next recipe, we are going to Betty Crocker. This is a recipe my mom used to use all the time growing up as a kid. And yes, I know Friendsgiving should be turkey and ham, but I'm a broke bitch, so ham is not in the cards. Turkey is not in the cards. It's chicken and meatloaf. But it's a really good meatloaf, so it's very nostalgic, so I am more than happy to have it on my Friendsgiving table. I like how I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a broke bitch, but in like 2 days time, I'm going on a staycation for 5 days. But to be fair, we didn't have to pay for it. We're just going to a timeshare presentation and getting the free gift. And the free gift happens to be a stay at the property. You got your egg, you got your milk, you got your breadcrumbs, you mix it together, throw in your meat and some spices, mix it all together, and you got meatloaf. My next kitchen task is vacuum sealing vegetables. So of that veggie prep that I did last week, we still have some we haven't gone through, obviously. The broccoli being one of them, but we also still have a good amount of carrots and half of the squash. So I'm just gonna throw it on a sheet pan lined with parchment paper, and we are going to freeze it individually, and then tomorrow I'll do the same thing I did with the broccoli. Again, I don't want it to go to waste. It's still perfectly fine food. So I'm just gonna preserve it a little bit longer, and if anything, it can roll over to be meal prep for when I return to work, or if whenever we're just feeling lazy. Am I reusing the same piece of parchment paper that I used for the broccoli? Sure as shit she is. Shouldn't surprise anyone at this point. All that was on it was roasted broccoli. So we got the carrots. Try to spread them out to where they're not touching. We got the squash. Oh, no. The squash has a lot of liquid in it. So we're gonna drain that out because that's just gonna turn into ice. Like my soul. And then everything is just going to get spread out just like the carrots. Friendsgiving spatchcock chicken. And then we are going to do the rest of the pie. Oh my God. Fun times. We're going to set it on this tray. And we are going to... This one doesn't have a wing. This one does. So we'll just break it And then cut that off. Don't throw it away, we'll save it for later. I wonder why, like, what's the science behind migraines? Like, why do you have to get them? And like, why do you have to go through all of these horrible little motions of it? Like, was it really necessary to get nauseous and puke and feel all sorts of shitty? Like, is that necessary? Like, for real? I don't think it is. Oh, these scissors suck. Also, take out the insides. Flipping him until we get him how we want. I'm sorry, bird, but thank you for your contributions. This bitch is slippery. I already weighed it out and measured out the salt and everything, so that's the inside. I'm sorry, chicken. Ugh. That's good enough. And then we get the salt. Here she is in all her glory. We got to get the counter sanitized and cleaned up for our next task at hand. So for the cranberry pie that I'm going to make for tomorrow's Friendsgiving, this is the compote, which is basically cranberry sauce. It's nice and strained. It's super gelatinous. I'm going to throw it in the microwave until it melts down a little, and then I'm going to let it cool to room temperature, and then we'll add in the gelatin and fold in some whipped cream. We have cold water in the pot. We have our gelatin. Gonna let that bloom, melt that down, mix it in with our compote. While I'm waiting for the sauce to cool down a little, I'm gonna go ahead and whip up some whipped cream. All right, we're gonna whip the cream to like a soft medium consistency. Just turning this on a low heat. We're gonna let that come to a nice liquidy stage, and then we're gonna strain it into the compote. The strainer. It shouldn't take that long. I'm going to throw the compote in the bowl, and then I'm going to strain in the gelatin. We're going to mix that up real nice. The reason why I put the compote in the bowl first is because this is the more dense mixture. The whipped cream is lighter, so we're gonna have to temper in some of that whipped cream into the more dense mixture. You wouldn't add the dense mixture into the whipped cream. It wouldn't mix as nice. So sacrifice a little bit of the whipped cream and whip the shit out of it. I can be nice and aggressive with it because it's the sacrifice portion. When I add the rest of it in, I am going to be gentle with it, and we're going to fold it in. So the remaining mixture, scrape the whipped cream and gently folding it all together. Lifting it up, placing it over. I'm not stirring. The goal is not to stir. The goal is to fold, because there's volume in the whipped cream that you want. I wish I had another camera so I could show you what's to the side of me. Stitch is just watching with such intent. Just fold it all together. Let's switch over to the spatula. Make sure to get the bottom of the bowl. And then we're going to just pour this into the prepared crust. And tomorrow we will top it with some more whipped cream. Torching it helps release it from the pan. I'm being mindful of where the paper is, because that shit will catch on fire. Ask me how I know. The other day, somebody tried mansplaining to me how to use a torch, as if I didn't know already, because it was mine. I wanted to punch him in his face, but I didn't, because that's not nice. Just heat up the bottom and the sides, and then it should, emphasis on should, it should drop. Oh, yay! Alright, we are going to take the side paper off. It's very shallow. It's not usually this shallow. I think if I do it in this square, I will double or triple it. And I'm going to get 4 little portions out of it. When it comes time to serving it, I will take it out of the freezer and I will brulee the top. And then I'll let it come to room temperature to where it's a cuttable or eatable, consumable texture. Clean off the knife with a damp towel. Turn the torch back on and we are going to torch the knife so it cuts more easily. You could also dip your knife in warm water, but I have a torch, so that's what I'm going to use. The only thing is you have to be mindful that the knife is hot, so you're not going to want to, like, if you touch it, like, you'll need oh, it's really frozen. I guess that's what I get for putting it in the deep freezer. And after this, we are going to vacuum seal this and freeze them individually. And then you'll sugar the top and then brulee that. I might show you, I might not. And yeah. Oh, we'll cut them diagonally when it's time to eat. I feel like grade A shit, so I'm gonna take a break for the rest of the day. And hopefully by 5 o'clock I'll feel better, because at 5 is when we ride. This used to be one of my favorite dresses, and it's starting to not fit. We went out to dinner this night. It was Nicole's birthday celebration with her coworkers. It was fun. It was exciting. That's it. Here we have my Friendsgiving. Meatloaf, chicken, lots of sides, great company, delicious pie. The pie was probably one of my favorites, but super thankful to have this tribe of people around me. The next day was followed by a weigh-in, and I have seemed to stalled at 178. But that was okay, because the scale lies. It doesn't show all your results. It was really hard for me to participate on this Thanksgiving. I almost threw my hands up and said, fuck it, I'm staying home. But I pushed through. I put myself in an uncomfortable situation. And at the end of the day, I was rewarded with a sunset. So this holiday season is having a little bit of a rough start. Thanksgiving was really rough. So was yesterday. And now I woke up with Nikki's cold. So I'm a little ray of fucking sunshine. But I figured now seems like an appropriate time to talk about my feelings, since I didn't get to have therapy last week. A lot of times I have a really good way of masking that everything is coming up roses for me, especially during the holidays. I'm really good at, I don't know if it's masking or pretending or distracting. Maybe distracting is the right word. But I have a really good way of putting on a happy face even if I'm feeling in my emotions and everything. And usually it has a lot to deal with grief. Some years I deal better than others. Sometimes I go in with a game plan of like, this is what I'm gonna do in this situation, like planning ahead, anticipating that I'm going to be feeling a certain way. Usually they're just really inconvenient, deep rooted emotions of like sadness and loss and like feeling cheated or just missing specific people. Nobody really teaches you how to deal with these things when they hit. And nobody really talks about how they deal with grief, and especially the holidays. So this year, I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I'm stuffing my calendar full of things and activities that I can do socially and that I can just do with my little household. The holidays were always a really happy time, but they were also shadowed by a really tragic time. And now that both parents are no longer with me, and my siblings and I, we do our best to get together, but the holidays I'm basically solo. We always reschedule Christmas for like a week or two into January because everyone's busy.
But I'm hoping that I will make time for reflection, and having a busy schedule or activities to do can lead to new traditions and be good distractions for missing those people. Like, I plan on every year for my dad's anniversary, I always go to the beach and I watch the sunset and I send off a little letter to him. And this year, usually it's kind of sad but kind of happy, but mostly sad. But this year I'm going to host a cookie exchange with some of my coworkers and some of my friends. Hopefully some of Nikki's friends will go too. But I figured it'd be nice to be around others during a not so happy day. A few of them are aware of what that day represents and why I'm doing it on that day. So it'll be nice to have their company. But if you know anyone who's lost someone or is having a hard time during the holidays, maybe just reach out to them. It doesn't have to be a big gesture. Reach out to them and let them know that you see them and that you're there for them if they need anything. I don't know why this is so hard. It's probably just grief. Yeah, if you still are lucky enough to have your loved ones around, give them a big hug and let them know how much you appreciate them. And if you're not appreciating them, step it up, because they're not always going to be around. Now I'm gonna go and sip on my tea. Oh, that's yummy. And rot on the couch for another 2 hours. And then maybe I'll clean up and tidy up and show you guys the organizing projects we finally accomplished. We can end this on a happier note, hopefully. So here is the grand reveal of the living room. We updated the wall above the couch, made it like a little gallery wall, and we added a couple of new plants. If you can see behind the curtain, that's where all of our like workout shit is, like all of our weights and stuff. And then if you pan to the corner, we have the Christmas tree. We covered up the pictures that we had hanging, and like you can't really see because the tree is blocking it, but it's a little nutcracker and a little Christmas tree. And then on this wall we have some more pictures, and then like that's our little catch-all with like our keys and like our dog harnesses and stuff, and then a little plant stand that we moved from one side of the room to the other. Just off of the living room is our entryway and our newest addition, our island. We got rid of our little round table and we upgraded to the island. We have our meals here. We do little arts and crafts and stuff. It allowed for more storage, and I got to clear off the countertop of some things, so good investment. I think it was a very good investment. And lastly is the office area, desk area. This is also a shared space with the dining room, So here we have it. Our standing desk adjusts, but we repurposed these shelves we've had for years. And then we invested in some storage bins. So that was nice. Right now they're labeled with painter's tape. We might try to find someone who can make us nicer looking labels with like their Cricut or something. But it's way more organized, and I sit here often and plan shit out. So yeah, this is probably one of my favorite things that we did. I don't really think it looks like super pretty. I think it looks really sterile, but it's nice to have a home for all the little things like electronics and my recipes and just hobby stuff. It's nice to have it all in one area that's easy to access, and we don't have to be scratching our heads wondering, oh, where's this at? We just go to the wall and it's there. That's pretty much all I have for part 2 of November. Oh, another thing. This little rack, it like folds flat. Got it from IKEA. If you ever need more counter space, it's so helpful. But anyways, I'm gonna sign off now. I hope December is a better month. I feel like this month has been an okay reset. Could probably be a little more strict on working out. I think I am going to focus on prioritizing working out. I know I'd say about 60 to 70% of the month I was really good about getting 3 workouts in. But the other part of the month wasn't so good. So I definitely want to do that and still focus on cutting out eating out. If I do eat out, be more mindful, and home cooked meals, focusing on protein and vegetables. So, oh, I want to try doing a week of Mediterranean meals. Yeah, I have a bunch of recipes that I can try, so maybe also in December we'll try that, or maybe we'll try that in January. Oh gosh. With that said, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a happy holidays, and I'll see you in January.